Hello guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about 3 things you need to learn the Steno alphabet. The first thing that you need is a good quality notebook, and I have been through many 5-star notebooks in my time. I went through 4 of them in school, and from front to back, filled with briefs, phrases, prefixes, suffixes, homonyms, to-do lists, my American dream, anything that you need to write down to remember. You need a book like this, and to learn the alphabet you really need this, because I will be going over what each key equals and other things that you need to remember about Steno, and it's great to write it down because when you write it down it reinforces everything. These are the best notebooks. I always buy them. I don't like the whiteboards, I like notebooks because I like being able to carry them with me wherever I go if I want to. The second thing that you will need is a good quality pencil, and everybody has a pencil, but my favorite pencil is the Pentel FX 0.5, and I'll put that in the description box. But for me, I've tried many different pencils, and this pencil has a thick barrel, so when I'm writing with it, the writing is cleaner and precise, and so I can fit a lot of things on one page. And the third thing that you need is obviously the machine. And I recommend the Stenograph Wave. It is the best machine that I've tried, especially for students. And I actually know people that use the Wave in professional reporting. They use it for captioning, for real-time jobs. The main difference is that with a student machine, it has less memory, and so it's going to delete pages after a while. And when you are in freelance, you will want it to hold on to that as long as possible, because you might have a tech issue. It's perfectly fine for you as a student. I always recommend that students buy student machines, because the reality of it is that 90% of students don't make it out of the program. And if you buy a machine that's only $800 to $1,000, you can easily get back what you put into it, save $100 or $200. I recommend that you get it on eBay. And when you're looking for it on eBay, I recommend that you look for one that is within the $800 to $1,000 price range. I wouldn't pay more than $1,000 for a used Stenograph Wave. $800 is a steal, so if you see it for $800, snatch it up. When you are bidding for a Stenograph Wave on eBay, it should come with the basics: the carrying case, and the tripod, and the charging cord, and the USB that plugs into your computer from your machine. So they come with those 4 basic things. Don't make that allow yourself to bid more because you're getting all that free stuff. What you only really need is a student machine. You don't need all the extra stuff, you just need the basics. When you get your Stenograph Wave, the first thing that you're going to have to do is shim the key. And what shimming the key is basically shortening the stroke. When you first get a machine, you press it down and it goes all the way down, and then it finally registers. You do not want that. We court reporters write between 3 and 5 strokes a second. So if you're going all the way down, you're wasting milliseconds. And that's over the course of your lifetime, and you do not want to do that. So you want it to be as short as possible, the stroke depth. So when you hit it, you just tap it lightly and it should register. So on my student machine, I wasn't able to do that without seeing a professional. The next thing you want to do when you get your machine is purchase wide DZ and asterisk keys, not double wide, just wide. And only the DZ and asterisk keys. With my student machine, my dad had to pop off the keys and put them on himself, glue them on himself, which wasn't that much of a task. I was just too scared to damage my machine to do it myself, but my dad went ahead and did it for me. And you can easily do that yourself, or you can send it to a Steno professional to get those keys installed. Another thing that you will need before learning the alphabet is a Steno chart. And I recommend you go onto Google and put in Steno chart, Google Images, and print out a full-size copy of the first one you come to. The last thing I wanted to talk about is how to sit. And everybody sits differently. People position their machine really high, some people, and some people position really low. There's all kinds of equipment for back problems, because court reporters, they just sit for hours, and sometimes attorneys don't want to go on a break. And so they just become hunched because they're so exhausted, and they're just holding themselves up. And sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. I mean, that's not perfect posture, but you will find yourself hunched over every once in a while after long hours and you're exhausted and you completely forget shoulders back, who sits with their shoulders back, but then you're going to get back pain. So I just wanted to tell you the proper way to sit, so you can keep it in mind. And you definitely want to keep your shoulders back as best as possible, feet on the ground. You want to keep, I like to keep my machine low, and most of the instruction books they say to keep your machine low. If you don't keep your machine too high, you'll start to get arm pain. And as a student, you will get arm pain however you adjust your machine, because you don't have the endurance yet. You haven't built up those muscles yet. But you do not want to injure yourself. You do not want severe arm pain. So what I do is I keep it as low as possible between my legs, and I write with it low with my arms resting on my thighs when I'm writing, basically. And I write very lightly, stroke very close together. You do not want to pound, and you do not want to get too out of control, because your strokes are not going to be accurate. You want it to be just light enough. So now that I've gone over all the things that you need and how to sit, go ahead and go get those items that I mentioned, and I will put them in the description box in a row so you don't forget anything, and then we can start the Steno alphabet. In my very next video, I'm going to be going over the tools that you need before you start school. But again, those things you don't need to start this alphabet that I'm going to be teaching in 10 short videos. Get a comfortable chair and a desk. I assume you already have that. If you are really strapped for cash, you can get a laptop tray. I use the Instand laptop tray, and the great thing about that is you can eventually use that on the job as well. However, you do want a desk, because you want a place to write your briefs and be able to go over your notebooks. You don't want it to be too confined of a space. I got a really cheap one in school, which was from Ikea. It was an $80 desk. If you like what I'm doing, go ahead and subscribe and give this video a like. I always appreciate it.